Hello, my crafty friends, and hope you're all okay. And welcome to my latest video. Thank you very much for dropping by. And I have got something completely and utterly different for you today. So, if you like my videos and you like my YouTube channel, please subscribe below, like it, and also hit that notification button, the little bell, so you will get notifications of my future videos. And also like and share it to your own Facebook pages, Twitter, whatever you are members of. If you could do that, that would be absolutely brilliant. So what have I got for you today? Well, I have got a brag book. This is one I did for my husband back in 2019, and I did this as a Christmas present for him of things that we did throughout the year. So and again, it is something I did as a reminder of all the things we did that year. And I've got tickets, I've got little bits and pieces, you know, as I did. And also I decorated it with die cuts that I've got, which and so what I'm going to do is show you how this is actually done. So, and how you put one of these together. So put that one to one side, and these are a few others that I've done, and again, I haven't put any photos in this, I've just done it. This is one I've done with all of the papers from Heartfelt Creations, and this is another one I've done. Again, this might give you an idea of what I've made them from. It's all done with envelopes. So with that in mind, let's put that down to one side, and so there you go. These are all, so all the books that I've done, all the memory books I've done have been done with envelopes. Now what you've got to do is sorry about that, right, first things first, make sure whatever envelopes you use, you can use any size really. Once you get the basic concept of doing these memory books or scrap albums, you can use any size envelopes, but make sure they are all the same size. So as you can see, I've got two A5 envelopes here, so don't need that one. So the way I open my envelopes is along the top. So I've sealed the top with some washi tape. Just put some washi tape along the top so it's sealed. And then the next thing you need to do is get your trimmer. And just slip off a slight sliver of I mean, that's all I've taken off, and do that both sides, so both on the short edges and the long edges. Now you may notice I've got a window envelope. That doesn't matter, that's absolutely fine. So if you've got any sort of envelope, whether it's a window completely, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what envelope you use, as long as they're all the same size. Now the next thing to do is to get your scoring tool, I've got mine here, and then score it with the long edge at the top of your scoring board and score it at 3 inches, which is roughly 7.5 centimeters. So score that, and as you can see, it's got my score line in there. And then back, just give it a crease. Make sure these are level, are lined up like so. And then all we need to do now is decorate it. So let's decorate it. So I've got some papers here. Now I will explain something in a minute. I'll put that to one side. These are the papers I've been using. Now I've been using Far East. This I think is done many years ago. It's DCWV, so it was a very old company, but I've got a purpose for this, so hence why I've gone down the Oriental route. Now, okay, let's start by putting some papers on here. So I need some double-sided. So all you do is double-sided, and again just put some double-sided down there and down there. So now the reason I'm not doing it all around all of this, because I want to still keep that flap, so hence why I'm only doing, and I will put another different design piece of paper onto there. Now, so excuse the wobble, and then down that side, and then we would choose our papers. So get my bone folder and give that a quick gentle ease down so it's nicely stuck to the envelope. And then choose our papers. Now, what have we got? Because I've used some of these already, so I need to use something a little bit that I haven't used. So let's have a look. Oh, that's rather nice. But I don't want to use. Let's go for that one. I think that's rather nice, isn't it? And then what else have we got? Oh, that would be nice. So we could use that one. So anyway, that's our two papers. Let's put that down to one side. Now, with these, work out where you want. If you've got an image, work out how you want your image displayed on your page. So I'm quite happy with that. I've got a nice central thing, so so we can peel off our double-sided sticky tape. Get rid of, so we can peel that off, and then we can peel that off, and then we can peel that one off, and peel that one off, and then we can do that one, and take off that one, then put that to one side, push all that to one side, put that down there, and then we just get our piece of, and just carefully line it up. And you obviously you still want this to fold, so that's important, and then down it goes. And if you think, oh, you're going to be a bit of a gap there, I'll sort that out, don't worry, I have got that covered for you. So let's get our metal rulers, and we just trim off this excess, and we just go down with our scalpel. There we go, we've got one bit there, and then we have got a little bit down there, so we trim that off. And then we've got a slight overhang there, well, not quite, but that doesn't matter. I just take that off, and then we have done, and what you'll find is it's automatically stiffened the envelope, so it's made it a bit more stronger. So you do that. Now you've got an option here, it's up to you. You can either cover this bit or leave it blank, because that bit will be glued or stuck to the previous page. I tend to do cover it, because it, as I say, it will strengthen the envelope. So we need our paper trimmer, and we will need just get our little trimmer here, and because we've scored at 3 inches, we know that it's 3 inches, so all we need to do is just cut this at 3 inches. Down that goes, and we can put that back to one side, and we can then put some double-sided onto this, and basically you just cover, and I will get to this bit in a minute because that's slightly different, again, because I'm conscious of the price of papers and everything, and you may not want to cover it all up, so we just get our bone folder and just give, oh, I need to go down there, so a little bit down there, and then we can just give it a little bit to make sure it's contacted with the envelope, and then we can just peel these off. Just like so, and then if you got a bit, just and if you want to, if you feel happier, you can, if you so desire, because I've got some here, go over it with a bit of glue if you want to make sure that it's all gone, and go over the double-sided, and it just gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and in the center, in the end. So if you feel happy about doing that, then by all means, you're more than happy to do that, then, you know, go ahead and do it. And then we just get our, and just line it up very carefully. That's right, I'm not quite happy with that. That's fine, that'd be good. And then we will just cut this excess bit away, And then we just got a little bit on the edge there, so we can just trim that down. So that's two sides done. So let's do this one, and let's choose a slightly different piece. That, again, get my trimmer in. Actually, I will use the other side because that's got a nice pattern on it. This is a Crafters Companions Chaunoiserie collection that came out last year, so that'd be rather nice. It's kind of the same color, so we can use a little bit of that. And again, double-sided tape all the way around those four edges. And a little bit of, just trim that excess off, put it down on there, don't waste it. And then just a little bit along the bottom. Trim that down, and then a little bit along that far edge. And I've just run out of double-sided on this roll just as well. I don't need any more. I don't, well, need it for the other side. Just a little bit. I've got some more, and then we can just put that there. And then again, with your bone folder, I'm just going to make sure the adhesive on the double-sided has made good contact with my envelope. That down there, that down there. And again, we just peel this off. And again, if you want to just going to trim that off. That's the edge of the roll, and go down there. Yes, so that was just the end of the tape. I'm going to peel that one off, and then we can peel that one off. Now, you might be thinking he's not going to do that to loads of envelopes. No, I have done some preparation. So I'm just showing you one so that you know exactly how I arrived at covering the envelopes, and then we're going to put it all together and make our book. So I'm quite happy with that. And again, if you so desire, put a little bit of glue down. So especially over the window, down there. And also, this memory book doesn't need any die cutting whatsoever. As you can now see, you can create it without using any die cutting or machines whatsoever. So I'm just gonna, and down like that. And again, I'm not bothered about the white bits. I can deal with that later, as I will show you. And then we just get our ruler and our scalpel and just do that. Now on this bit, this, and again, make sure you keep just creasing and making sure everything, again, don't worry about the white bits, we'll deal with that. I have a solution for that. So on this bit here, on this back bit, because we're going to be placing the next page onto that, we don't need to cover the whole of it. You can if you want to, but I'm just going to use about, again, another 3 inches of paper. And again, it's just conserving and saving your paper. So again, I'm just going to line that up, and what I am going to do is place a little pencil mark. Don't know if you can see that, top and bottom, like that. Don't worry, you don't have to worry, you won't have to rub these out. Open that again, and we just get some double-sided. I'm hoping there's enough on this one. So, and just place that piece of tape just by your pencil marks, and then again, as we've done before, along the 4 sides, so you've got coverage along all 4 sides of your area. And then finally a little bit at the top, and then we will just trim these down. So get rid of that one, put that one in there, and then we've got that one bit there, and just trim. Just very carefully trim that one. I think that's okay. So we can trim that little slice off there. Right, okay. So, and then usual, just give it a bit of a rub with your bone folder. And then we will peel off our tape, just like that. And then peel off the last little bits that you've put in the middle. And then we got one there. Take that one off, and then we just got to tiny this one at the top. So, and then we just attach our last piece of card, or paper, nice pattern paper. Put that down there, and then usual, as we've done before, we will just trim this down. And keep your bits and pieces, and there you have your first envelope covered with your pockets, ready for your memory book. So how cool is that? So okay, so the next thing is to let me just tidy up this a little bit, get rid of all these little bits. Make sure you don't throw any little scrap bits of paper. We'll just get rid of all of that little rubbish. I have got a bin there. So okay, so we have got our first page. Now, next thing is, as I said, a trusty old distress ink pad. So we've got white edges, so we want to disguise that a little bit and kind of distress it, basically. So what we do here is get my little mat, move that to one side, and ink up your, and I've got a thingy, a foam sponge on the edge of my applicator and just go along the edge of your card. Bring that in so you can actually see what I'm doing, which would be most helpful, wouldn't it? So all I'm doing is just going along. Now check also, see I've got a bit open there, so all you do there, I should have checked this and showed you, but so all you do there, a little bit of glue down there, push that down and just give it a couple minutes, and that will solve that problem. So if you do get bits of envelope that have started to come away, that is the way to deal with it, and it still keeps your pocket, which is important, because we still need this pocket there. So hence, so just so that's all that needs. So if you do happen to come across that, and just give this, I'm just being really rough and ready here, just go around the edges with your distress ink, and I wouldn't be too particular about it. Yeah, just don't be too precious about it, because you're gonna be covering a lot of this up anyway with your photographs or your memorabilia or whatever you're going to decide to put in your memory book. And again, these can be used for all sorts of different things. I mean, you could make them up and have enough for one whole year, and make a diary of, you know, people's anniversaries, birthdays. Make a birthday little book, so you've got all your cards ready to post. So, or you can use it as a wedding planner. If you're planning a wedding and you've got so much on, you can say, oh, I can make one of these. And yes, you've got your wedding, you can make this into a wedding planner. If you've got a special trip, you've been away on a special trip, then again, you can make one of these as a memory album for your trip away. And if you keep tickets of any museums or things, you can attach that with a paper clip. So yes, it's got loads of different uses. So I'm just going to get a wet wipe and clean up my mat here. Just give that a quick wipe. Look, that's still come off. So give that a quick wipe, and then we get a bit of tissue just to clean that down. And then that is, I know, good for me to go next time. And we put that away. Right, okay. So that's basically one sheet, your one envelope. And being that organized, I have done all these, so you wouldn't have to see me now doing them all. Now the last thing, we just need to put some double-sided, and this is where you don't have to cover it if you don't want to, but as I said to you at the beginning, it just makes the envelope a bit more stronger and a bit more sturdy. So that's why I've actually covered it. So you're not actually going to see this, but just to reiterate, it is going to be covered, but it will strengthen the envelope. So we put that along there, and put that in the middle, and then a little bit down the side. Down that edge, and then just a tad at the bottom. So as I say, you are making an album, a memory album, completely from stuff that will literally come through the post free of charge, i.e. your envelopes. So it's not going to cost you anything. The only thing it's going to cost is papers, which no doubt many of you will have in your stash already, and you're probably thinking, oh, what can I do with these, because they've been hanging around there for forever and a day, and you've had no idea what to do with them. Well, hello, this is what one of the things you can do with them, and it's going to be something that you're going to keep. Right, okay, so that's all our pages done. So as you can see, I have prepped all of these, and I've double-sided them, put this tape down, and you know, so exactly how I've just shown you is exactly how I've done all of these. So I've done all of those, and I have and the nice, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 there. Nice thing about this, you can have as many or as little as you want. So you know, the more envelopes you've got, the bigger the album you can make, or you can just have half a dozen and have it that way. So the next thing is we need covers. So a bit of grey board, and I have cut this to 7¼ by 7¼ square. So that is 7¼ square. So what we need to do now is, again with our double-sided, around the 4 edges, is put double-sided and then you're going to need to choose 2 pieces of 8×8 pattern paper. So put that down there, and then you can just trim this off. Put that down there. Let's trim that little bit off. And again, we just get our bone folder and just give that a good rub down. And then the next thing we need to do is choose 2 pieces of paper. So bring our stash back in. So I'm just going to look, see what I've got on. So I might choose that one. That's quite nice. So I could have that on the back and that one on the inside. So I think that would be pretty cool. I don't think there's anything else I would particularly... Actually, I could... That'd be rather nice, wouldn't it? On the back. Yes. I think I'll have him and that on the inside. Or her. Yes, let's do that. That would be a bit of a feature on the back. Right, okay, so what we do now is get our piece of, and what I'm going to do as well is also with this is again apply some glue. So take off your backing from the double-sided, just like that, and then do that. And then we do that. And again, get your glue and just apply glue to all, particularly the edges. I know you got double-sided, but oh, sorry. Then just keep doing that, and then bring back in your piece of paper. Make sure it's up the right way, although it doesn't really matter because we're going to change it around anyway. And then just hover and down it goes. Give that a few minutes to make contact, to like that. So we have got, and then we just want a little bit of red liner tape. I'm going to use red liner tape because it's just that little bit stronger, and we can so a little bit of red liner tape along all four edges again, like we've done before. Put your bits in the middle. So make sure you get it as close to the edge as you possibly can, and just put that down. And then along the third side. Again, as close to the edge as you possibly can. So let's put that down. And this just gives, because it's that much stronger, it will just give us that little bit more of power, as it were, when we fold up the paper. Oh, there it is. So, and then finally last little bit along that edge, and then to neaten our corners, what we're going to do is just trim them slightly. So so what you do, you just get your scissors and then just like that. Do that to all four corners. So you can see how far away I'm from the edge of the corner. And then once you've done that, you can then lift up your hopefully it will behave. Actually, let's probably haven't done that, have I? Because I trimmed off the corners. So you can see what difference it will make now by doing that and going over, because when I just started lifting it, it started lifting off the cardboard, so it's not doing that now. So that's one of the reasons why it's good to go over there we go. Lift that one off, and then finally this one here. And again, I am going to go over when we've put the last bit down. I'm going to put some more glue so it will all firmly stay in place. Right, so what you need to do now is very carefully with your bone folder is lift these and get your bone folder right in there, and then down it goes, and just give that a nice easy so again, just gently lift it and get your bone folder right into there, and down it goes. Right, and if I lift that up, you can see how the corners have met at the top. That's why we've cut that little bit off. So again, just ease your paper, get your bone folder, and then down it goes. And then your last edge, just get that up, and then over it goes, and then down. And there we have our backing board, our first backing board. So we've got our backing board covered. So what we need to do now is put another piece on this end. So put that to one side, get your paper trimmer, and we need to cut this down to 7 3/4. So get our paper trimmer, and we need to go to 7 1/4 inches. So, and again, you do that on 2 sides to make it square. So make sure it's lined up perfectly and it's up to the top. Get rid of your bit, remove the paper trimmer, and now just to check, that is perfect. I'm quite happy with that. So double-sided again, I think we'll go with this one. And just over all of what you've just done. And then typical, now run out of double-sided on that one. Let me just see if I have got some more. Actually, have I got enough? Might have enough. No, I'll use this one. I'm going to be using glue as well anyway, so a bit of tape down there. Just trim that off. And then the last third corner. And then the last edge. So we've got all 4 edges covered in double-sided. And then usual trick with your bone folder, just to make sure it's absolutely made contact with the surface below. These little bits, do those as well. And then we can just peel all this off. There we go. Just need to be a bit patient to make sure. There we go. And then yeah, just make sure. Don't worry about that. We will deal with that. We will cover that. So once you have taken off all of those, we can then put on our backing sheet. And let's get rid of all that mess, put that down there. And again, just apply a little bit more glue. So especially around the edges, especially if it's ripped, because again, you're not going to see this. Just glue all over the cardboard. And then get your piece of card, hover, and then down it goes. Cool. And again, as we've done before, you can get your distress ink and just go along the edges. Get your mat back. Probably gone a bit too hard, but you get the idea. At least it and again, along the edges, if you've got any white bits showing, you can do all of those around the edges. Sorry. And then if you want to, just be careful. Go around the edge. I don't want this too much, but it'll just give the hint that it's an older piece of paper. It's giving it that vintage old look. So So there we go. That's how you do your cover of your memory album. And also, obviously, if you use different size envelopes, just alter your size of your board accordingly. So what I've done is I've done it and I've allowed like 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch, so that is 6 inches. So I've made the board 7 1/4, so it's slightly bigger than my actual pages. So we can put that to one side, we can put all this to one side. Yes, it's actually, I've just found my proper ruler. So that is actually, yep, 7 1/4, and that is 6 1/4. So I've given it an extra inch, added an extra inch, so that it covers all of the board. So we can clean this and get rid of that, and then we can then think about putting our book together. So let me have a bit of a clean up, put things away and put that away, clean up all of this because we don't need that and that and that and that. Put these so we have got a makings of a memory book. So we've got our back and we've got our front covers. So, and then we've got our pages. So, and they would go down. Now with your pages, have a look through them, decide in what order you want them to go, because obviously once they're glued and stuck in place, that is it. You won't be able to kind of alter it. So what I'm going to do, so I've got, I think, yeah, I've got 2 purples there, so I'm going to swap it and put a blue there. Got a purple and a blue, so that's okay. Yeah, that should be okay. Right. So, okay. So there's our memory book. There's our back cover. That's our back cover, sorry. That's our front cover. So make sure, double check that's the way you want it. So that's the way I want my cover to go. So that'd be my cover. So I want it down like that, and I want my pages to go like that, and then my back cover will go on like that. So, and that's basically your memory book done. So okay, let's put that to one side. Let's put these to there, and we can start putting these on. So again, I'm just going to make sure that these are absolutely glued down, and as I said, once these are down, you won't be able to change it. So do absolutely make sure that this is the order you want your books to go in, your pages. Now what I haven't done is put a bit down that edge, which I think I will now do, because so just put that down there. And that's the reason why, because I've got a bit of sticky that's showing there. That's why it keeps sticking. So just, there we go. Right, so again, just be so careful. That's the way I want my book. And then just hover where you want your page to go. Make sure you've got an equal gap at the top and the bottom here. That doesn't quite so matter. And then bring this edge up as close to this bottom edge as you possibly can, and then down it goes. And that is your first page put in, and you just continue with doing that through the rest of your book. And again, I'm just going to put another bit down the edge there. And again, if you so desire, you can also put some glue in, which I might do. So get your knife and just peel back the double-sided. And again, you know, going back to making these memory albums, you can make them for any occasion whatsoever. Once you've got the basics of knowing how to do these, then, as I said, you can make these for any particular occasion. So just a bit of glue I'm putting on there, and then we can attach our second book, our second page. And we can again hover, and you want it, again, you want to line up this edge. So and don't worry, that's slightly shorter than that one. Don't worry, that's not a problem. And again, we've got our second page and our pocket, and then we just carry on all the way down. Yeah, so basically, you know, if you've got any special occasions coming up and you want to do something special, or even, you know, if you've had a family gathering at Christmas, and you want to do a memory album, you know, this is absolutely ideal. And Christmas also will be a good time as well, because that's when you probably get a load of envelopes, and you know, you can then, you know, do a special album for Christmas. And again, they're good for weddings. If you want to do a memory album for a wedding you've been to, and then give to the bride and groom afterwards, or the bride, or the groom and groom if it's a gay wedding. You know, it'd be a nice keepsake for the couple. Again, so going back to this, I'm doing exactly what I've done before, just lining up my edges, and then down it goes. So yeah, so you can actually use these for a host of different things. It really is versatile. I know I keep repeating myself, but once you've got the concept on how this is done, it is so easy. And again, it doesn't require any die cutting machines or special equipment or anything. All you need is the humble envelope. And also, if you go to Poundland, you can buy a pack of envelopes. I think it's like 20 brown envelopes for £1, something like that. Again, very inexpensive, very cheap. And again, you can create your own memory album. So in my, and again, I'm just going to hover press that down, make sure it all makes good contact, and do this one a little bit down there. So make sure again these are firmly pressed down. Again, if you're more confident with just using wet glue, again, you can, I mean, that's absolutely fine as well. I'm just so used to and got into the habit of using double-sided. I tend to use it for everything as far as possible. So yeah, but if you want to just use wet glue, that's absolutely fine. Get that little bit off, and then get our wet glue again, and then just bring our book back in, and again line up your edges, keep it all nice and square and together. Press that down. See, you can see it's all coming together rather lovely. And then just a couple more, just so, and then we're nearly there. And a bit down that side as well, don't I? Make sure that is cool. And then use your performance, just get a little bit of glue. and down it goes again. Make sure it's all lined up. And then you'd be pleased to know, last one. So down that goes. And down that goes. Again, give it a gentle rub with your bone folder. And then take off the backing tape. Lift all that off. Now back. Take that off. And the final bit. And then we can then just again go in with our glue. And then I will explain. So again, down that goes. Now, so that's the last one. Now obviously we want to fix that one onto there. So all you do is, with your double-sided, just on that, along the four edges. So along there. And then along that edge. And along that top edge. So yes, so you don't don't put tape on the cover, put it on your last page. That's important, because obviously if you put tape all around that edge, it's going to have very little place to stick to. So that's why it goes on your last page. And then usual performance, make sure all this is sealed down nicely. Give it a nice rub all over, and then we will take off our backing tape, and then we will apply some glue just to make sure we've got everything stuck down and glued nicely. So right, so make sure it's up the right way. So that's my front, and that is up the right way. That I want obviously to go like that. So just line it and hover, like, because these two backing boards are exactly the same size. So so hover, make sure it's lined up, and then down it goes. Put that into place, and there you have one memory album with pockets for you to fill and decorate as you so desire. Now, so there's your last pocket. Now, one thing I will explain, you can get, if you want to, so you're going to need a piece of 8x8. So, and cut it down to 7 1/4 by 7 1/4 again. And I'm not actually going to stick this down, but it was to show you. And I'm just going to roughly cut that in 7 1/4, so 3 3/4 possibly. Yeah, that would do. Right, so basically what I've done here is, if you've got a piece of card, you can actually, and then wrap it around like that, and that will cover all the mechanism inside. So so let's actually do that, and then you can see. So that's my back. So and it will just, so you're creating the spine now for your memory book. And so I just want a tiny little bit to go down from the top there. And then just get your piece of card. And if you want to, trim it down if you feel that's a bit too big. So I am just going to trim that down just a little bit. I think that is a bit too much. So I'm just going to use my board. Obviously I want straight lines. Move that out of the way. Will I get... So, just hope I haven't gone too mad. Nope, that will be absolutely fine. Hopefully I've done this right. Put another piece of double-sided down there, and then we just trim that off, and then give that peel that off, and then just ease that into position like that, and then you have a spine which covers all the inside, and then you can still open and enjoy your memory book. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you do a memory book from envelopes. Right, so that's how you do that. Just to bring my other one in. As you can see, I've decorated it. These bits I got off eBay, filigree corners. If you put in filigree, metal filigree, it should come up. And again, you know, it's going to be down to personal choice. Putting your photos in, putting your memorabilia in, tags, month, dates, what have you. And again, like I said to you earlier, if you want to, you could do this at the beginning of the year for each month. Put your birthdays, anniversaries, do your cards, slot them in, and you know, you can use that. You can make it into a wedding album. You know, you've got I've done die cuts, I've done, you know, all sorts of different things. So once you've got the basic concept, it is down to you on how. That's me, and that's my husband. So and that's when we went to Rocky Horror. Eden Project, friends having tea, and that was the start of the Mayflower celebrations back in 2019. So there you go, folks. That's how you do a memory album, completely from scratch, with no die cutting, and made with envelopes. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe below. Press that bell button to get notifications, and if you like this, please like, share, and share this onto your other social media platforms. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for your company. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but I hope it's been well worth it. And also please leave your comments below. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.